to get things started, I'd like to begin with our head coach, Rick Stockstill.
Thank you, AC. Appreciate you and appreciate everybody else being here this morning. Southern Miss coming off an open date. They're 1-6, but it's a very deceptive 1-6. This team is really talented. You look at them statistically, especially defensively, they're really, really good, and they're up there in a lot of statistical categories. They're athletic, they're fast, they can run. They've dealt with some injuries this year at some critical positions, and so I assume that they got some guys healthy this week or last week and coming in here. So this is a great example of a team that you better not look at their record and assume something, because this is a very capable team. They're talented on both sides of the ball, and just had a tough stretch here the last few weeks. But this is a really good football team that we better be ready to play, because they're talented. So I'll open it up to you guys.
Morning, Coach. Sam down here.
Morning, Sam.
Yeah, I think you're right that the defense is something that really jumps out as a unit that does really well, particularly compared to their peers. What are some of the things they do defensively that makes them a challenge for opposing offenses to move the ball against them?
Well, one, they're not giving up a lot of points. You take the Alabama game out of it, where Alabama scored 63. They're not giving up a lot of points. So they're doing a good job of keeping the ball in front of them. They're not giving up a lot of big plays. But they're really athletic. They do a lot of different things up front with bringing the different pressures and blitzes and stunts and everything what they do up front. But it's probably the thing that stands out as much as anything is just their overall athleticism and team speed on defense. They chase the ball really well. Their front seven guys are very athletic and disruptive.
Coach Cecil Joyce here.
Hello, Cecil. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Coach, how pleased were you with the team's rushing effort against UConn? 155 yards as a team, I believe, easily one of your best outings of the year. Going into the stretch run, how pleasing is that to you?
I thought we ran the ball a lot better, and there's a lot of people involved in it. And, our backs, ran well, but I thought our offensive line probably played the most consistent that they have up front. Our receivers blocked well on the perimeter. And, we didn't have, we had one sack in there. And, so Chase did a good job of avoiding sacks and not taking unnecessary lost yardage plays. I thought we did a good job in the RPO game of taking, the throw when it was there. And if it was not there, you had the run. So I think all that, played a factor in it. But, it's no secret. We have to be able to run the ball better than what we have, at times, prior to the UConn game. So it was good to see, and we got to keep building on it. It's going to be critical, here as the season progresses and gets along, as the weather starts to get colder, and those sort of things, that you got to be able to run the ball. And, so hopefully we'll be able to continue to build on that.
Coach, y'all's first stretch of the season obviously featured a lot of road games. I think 5 of the first 7 were on the road, and now you're in a stretch where you're going to have a majority of your games at home for the last 5 games. But what's going to mean for your team to be able to play a majority of games at home the rest of the way as you close out conference play?
Did you go to UConn? You were at UConn, weren't you, Sam?
I followed along, yes, sir.
Yeah. How'd you like eating that steak at 9:30 at night?
I don't think it was pretty good.
It was good, but it just stuff like that people don't realize how hard traveling is, just the getting on buses, getting on planes, new hotels, all that stuff, that plays a part, on the wear and tear of your body. And, 5 out of these first 7 being on the road, it wasn't a lot of fun. We like playing at home. We'd rather play at home. Obviously, we like to play in front of our fans, in front of our people. So glad. I mean, we got 5, so 3 of our next 5 are at home, and so yeah, it's always a lot better playing at home than on the road. But I'm proud of how our team handled last Thursday, and Friday the game. But having a bus not show up and planes canceled and getting there, at 9 o'clock at night, it was just a testament to our team and the mental toughness that they showed, throughout that week.
And touching briefly back on Southern Miss, offensively, it's obviously not been a super successful year for them on that side of the ball for a wide variety of reasons. But they have had some moments, obviously, where they've been able to move the chains. When that happens, what are you seeing on film that they do well?
They're a very dangerous team. They got receivers that can fly. They got a running back that can roll. I mean, their offensive line is big. They've gone through a couple quarterback, hiccups there where they've had some, guys get hurt and, at a critical position. He's played now, a few games. So it's a dangerous team. And they're close. Again, they're athletic. They can run. And, we got to be ready to play. Again, you don't look at this team's record. This is Southern Mississippi. This is a good football team. And to me, they're 0-0, and we're 0-0, and we're both trying to find a way to get one this week.
It's one thing you mentioned after the game on Friday was the fact that you guys simplified the run game a little bit, ran, I think 3 or 4 different base plays the vast majority of the time. Is that something that y'all game plan specifically for UConn or something that you think might carry over the rest of the season?
Probably a little bit of both. You always look at as you game plan your next opponent, you always – you're going to look at what you think can be successful and what can't, and you're going to emphasize that, so we'll go into each week and see what gives us the best opportunity to win first, what gives us the best opportunity to move the ball and be successful offensively.
Hey, Coach, it's Chris Harris. How you doing, man?
Good, Chris. How you doing, my man?
Just fine, just fine. I wanted to ask you, you guys lead the nation in takeaways. Is that correct?
I don't know. I know we're up there.
I think you may be.
Yes, we're tied with Iowa for first. Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. So my question is about that. I mean, that's more than just scheme. That's attitude and some good fortune. I mean, it's everything that conspires when you get a stat like that, isn't it?
Yeah, Chris. It's not. You can't just put one. Your finger on one thing and say it's because of this. It's something that we preach. It's something we talk about daily. It's something that we do in our drills as we practice, trying to create turnovers, but also, and I guess you're talking more takeaways, but as you talk about turnovers, you're talking about offense too, protecting the ball and all those things. But, we've done a really good job defensively of making the play. A lot of times you can be in a position to recover a fumble and you don't get it. You can be in position to make an interception and you don't get it. It goes off your helmet, your face mask, it goes through your hands. And we've been very fortunate this year. Our guys, have made those plays. They've made those catches. Hadn't been a whole lot of hand clapping. And, so really proud of our guys. But it's something, Chris, that, our defensive coaches and our team that we talk about and preach about, on the daily. It's constant that we talk about it, and our players have done a really good job of making the play when an opportunity has presented itself.
Also wanted to ask you, after Chase's first start, we just kind of talked about, what you knew he was capable of and everything. And now that we've a few games in with him, what kind of a revelation has he been, even just from a leadership standpoint, as far as what you guys do?
Chris, I think, you can see he's a good player. I think probably the biggest impact that he's had, even, bigger than being a good player, making good plays, is he is a really good leader. He's not a rah-rah loud talking guy, but he leads by example. He leads by one-on-one communication. The team, me, coaches, believe in him. The defense believes in him. The offense believes in him. I believe in him. Our staff believes in him. So I think that's probably, to me, it's, you don't want to have a great leader and a bad player. You want a great leader. It's a good player also, but his leadership skills, and what he's learned in his time here, I think is probably as big an impact as, his performance is.
Cool. And sorry, I just had one more question. I was here when you guys even joined Conference USA, and you've been here throughout. I was just curious as to your thoughts on what all is happening with the league.
Chris, probably you're going to get mad at me, but, I'm just focused on Southern Miss right now. And, that's probably a question you need to ask, the administration, because, I'm not in the loop and, of what's going on with that at the conference level and everything. So I'm just trying to figure out this Southern Miss deal right now. And all the conference stuff will eventually, it'll come out. So I just don't have an answer for you, to be honest.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, man.
Appreciate you, Chris.
Hey, Coach, this is Chip Walters. Could you, going into the year, we talked about how your receiver group could potentially be one of the best groups on your team, and the example of what they did on Friday night with some, Sports Center top 10 catches, things like that. How have you been satisfied with the way that they've played this year?
I think, Chip, probably the thing that I'm pleased the most about is their selflessness. They pull for each other. They block for each other. They're not caught up in how many catches or how many touchdowns do I have. Jimmy and Prince and Jalen and CJ and Isaiah and DJ, all those guys, Yusuf, have been, have all made good individual plays. J. Mike, I hope I didn't leave anybody out, but all those guys have really done a nice job. But the thing I'm most proud of is just how hard they play for each other. Winning is more important than how many catches I have to them. Winning is more important than how many touchdowns I have to them. And it's, they've just done they're really good players. They have been the most consistent group on the offensive side of the ball, and they've made plays all year. But I'm just proud of their selflessness and, the team first mentality that they have. They're all good players. And, so I'm proud of what they've done so far.
Any more questions for Coach Stock?
Appreciate you guys. Have a great week.
All right, we'll now begin with our student athletes. We got Reed Blankenship and Chase Cunningham today, and we'll get started with Reed.
Hey, Reed, Cecil Joyce here.
Hey, Cecil.
Hey, Reed, talk about obviously the team's got to be pretty excited right now. Coming off the bye week, you had a great effort against UConn. You got 5 games, 3 at home, all against conference opponents. You've got a bowl stretch coming up now, the push for the bowls. Talk about the attitude and the mindset of the team right now going into the Southern Miss game.
Yeah, we're excited. We needed this win this past week to get us going. We preached all about it during the bye week, saying that we need to start 1-0 pretty fast and just get the ball rolling. And our whole team's excited to go. I'm ready to play this week, get back in conference play, and get ready to be back home.
Morning, Reed. Sam Dowden here.
Morning, Sam.
I think the defensive line at times has not necessarily filled up the stat sheet, but has played their role well in y'all's defense. But Friday night was a time where they really got a chance to make a lot of really big plays in the backfield. What was it like for you as a captain of the defense, seeing, all 3 levels work like y'all did on Friday night?
Oh, it's great. It takes a lot of pressure off the back end, just seeing our guys go to work. And, especially me, sometimes I'll be sitting back in coverage and seeing our guys go to work, getting sacks, getting TFLs. Just like I said, it takes a lot of pressure off. And especially it's a big confidence builder for them. They work hard at it every day. And just to getting the results that they got Friday, it's a big confidence builder for them.
Coach Stock mentioned the speed on the outside that Southern Miss has on offense. They're an offense that's struggled to score points at times, but clearly has some talented players. What are you seeing on film this week that they are preparing for?
It's going to be tough because they had a bye week last week, so they're probably going to throw in some new stuff. I know that they're really talented, like you said. Their record doesn't really define who they are, and we can't take them lightly at all, and we're not. But we're just going to come up with a good plan and execute it this week.
Defensively, y'all have had to use a lot of depth at linebacker this year. And one guy who's a newcomer to the defense that's really stepped up is Giarente Davis. Talk about what he's done on the defensive side this year, and has put together a really successful season for his first year at Middle Tennessee.
He's been doing his job. He came in from a JUCO, a little bit more mature than the younger guys that we had. So he was our best option. But, he's turned the page. He's grown up with us. I love him to death. Just to see him work, and each day he gets better. And, I just can't wait to see him compete, the rest of the season.
Reed, this week is homecoming, and I think, this will be, I guess, your 6th homecoming game since you've been here at Middle. I know you guys don't get to participate in the pageantry sort of a homecoming weekend as much as maybe you'd like, but just what's it like to play during a homecoming game for maybe some of the guys who haven't?
It's big. We'll have a big fan base coming out to support us. And, it's just great to be back home again. We've been on the road for so long, and I don't think since I've been here, we've been on the road this many times. But just having the home atmosphere again is going to be huge for us. So I'm very excited to be back here.
Anything else for Reed? Okay. Thank you, Reed.
Thank y'all.
Now I have Chase Cunningham.
Hey, Chase, Cecil Joyce here. I think you're muted, Chase. There you go.
Hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Chase, talk about the run game really had its best effort against UConn this past week. Talk about how that can help open up things just for the entire offense and going forward, how important that is.
Yeah, so that week leading up to UConn, we put an outside zone for our offense, just to kind of get our guys on the perimeter and get moving a little bit. I think that was really big for us. We got our line moving side to side, really athletic up there, and our guys can run, and, got Mob and Petaway in space. They did their thing. It's just really good to open that up and, for other defenses to see that we can do multiple things.
Morning, Chase. Sam Dowden here.
Morning, Sam.
You mentioned Martell just in that last answer, and he's a guy that's had to maybe bide his time a little bit this year to get an opportunity, and clearly had a very successful night Friday night. What does he bring to the offense when he's in the game, and how exciting was it for you to see him, have that success?
Yeah, I was really excited for Pete. He got his opportunity, he made the most of it. He's a really patient runner. He's really good in space, and just the biggest thing I noticed about him, I think he just runs super smooth. And that's probably a thing. He was at West Virginia for a reason. He's a big time player, and he showed that Friday night.
Yeah, the Southern Miss defense definitely stands out as a defense that can prevent teams from scoring in particular. Yeah. What are some of the things they do really well that make them just a tough assignment as an offense?
Yeah. I think their front seven, they move really well. They're fast, sideline to sideline. And, like Coach Stock said, they're really talented, and, they're better than what their record shows. And, we got to have a great week of practice, and we'll be ready to roll on Saturday.
Sort of a broader theme for the second half of the season is y'all finally will have more home games than away games for the rest of the stretch. Obviously this past weekend was a big challenge road-wise, but they're a challenge every week. What's it going to be like to have 3 of the last 5 conference games at home for the team?
Yeah, I think it's really big for us. Going on the road is tough, and I mean it's hard to win a game anyway. Home or away, and all the travel. You got to be mentally tough, along with physically tough, and just being able to play back in front of our crowd is going to be really good for us, and we're really excited.
Anything else for Chase? All right. Thank you, Chase. Thanks, everyone. And just remember, we'll be back here next Monday as the Blue Raiders get ready for a game against Western Kentucky. Have a great day. Thanks.